what's happening? My name is Tariq Howes. We're at Avenue Male Grooming today. What we're going to be doing, we're going to be talking about everything that's happening with Man United at the moment. Obviously, there's a lot of negative stuff in the media and around the club, surrounding the club at the moment. So I've invited a few of my friends along today. Vandy, Kyle, Danny and Curtis. Obviously, Kyle and Curtis are brothers, twins, if no one's noticed. So I'd just like to get the ball rolling with where do you think it all went wrong after Fergie left? Who'd like to...
David Moyes.
David Moyes, yeah. So while I crack on with the haircut, let's start talking about David Moyes and what went wrong.
You know what? It was more than that, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was flipping...
Nah, David Gill leaving the same time as Fergie, wasn't it? First of all.
Fergie and Gill both going the same time. And then the last of the true soldiers that was there, do you know what I mean? The Vidiches, Evras, or everyone just disappeared at the same time or got pushed out at the same time.
Do you think the magnitude of someone like Alex Ferguson leaving the club could have been replaced or gone any better than it did? I reckon whoever went there would have.
It was always
Ultimately going to fail.
it was always going to be hard anyway. But then when everyone else around them, who was so
integral.
how can I say it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
More should have been done to keep some of that generation there, shouldn't they, really? Whether it's
and then to top it off, like Moyes was given a job, do you know what I mean? On top of it, which...
The way you got to look at it as well, he signed Fellaini, and that was his only signing. That was literally... So you can't... Even though, obviously, he wasn't the right man for the club, but we didn't back him. That season we were talking about signing Gareth Bale.
But again, it's the David Gill thing as well, isn't it? The David Gill thing leaving didn't help because with Moyes coming in.
Because real link with Tony Cruz,
Fabregas,
Bale as well.
To be honest, I'll admit at the time, when they announced Moyes was taking over, I thought it was an understated statement to say, oh, we're not going to go overboard, we'll get someone in to just steady the ship. So I can't say like I was pro Moyes, but I was like a little bit happy that we hadn't gone all out and, you know, got a big person in that would have failed even more.
At the same time, do you think Moyes created his own problems when he come in and he just like writ off the whole backroom staff?
100%.
Like when you say steady the ship, I feel like that's what he could have done. He could have like kept everyone there, come in and just let everything kind of...
Try to do it his way.
Do you know what I mean? And then he could have like, because the club needed transition anyway. Fergie kind of didn't transition the team where he wanted that last title, bought Van Persie, which is an aging striker. Do you know what I mean? And he kind of left it. So Moyes could have kept it ticking and kind of done it slowly where he just come in. Imagine coming back from training like your summer holiday that summer. Fergie's gone, no one's there. Do you know what I mean? It must have been hard for the players as well. So I don't think he helped himself. But again, it's just could have the powers that be give him a little bit more advice and have said like, listen, you've come in to create the transition, like rather than just take over and full control. How we done it?
But, I think the truth is at one point flipping rewind 27 years or whatever it was when Fergie came in. Everything happened right at the right time, if you know what I mean. We won the first Premier League season when the money exploded, do you know what I mean? So we became the first Premier League champions when the money was massive. Everything just built up and went right for us throughout Fergie, and then the truth is probably from 2008, 2009, I think personally that's when we was at our peak, do you know what I mean? 3 Champions League finals in 4 years, X amount of league titles in a row. That squad was, for me, the best squad we've had in Fergie's whole era. Do you know what I mean? I know you can talk about the treble season, but from then, 08 09, it was on a slow decline, wasn't it? Do you know what I mean? Even under Fergie, but it was only showed how good Fergie was when we won that last league title under him, and then finished 7th or whatever under Moyes on the first season. But we was on a slow decline anyway. Now on top of that, we're slowly getting worse, and then bam, Fergie, Gill, Ferdinand, Vidic, Evra, all these legends, you know what I mean? They're just gone, all our experience, all our winning mentality. Everything went wrong at that time, 27 years later.
All of a sudden, it's a different club.
Yeah, but that's exactly what it seems like as well, and it's like all like you say, when you lose the backroom even the staff, like as much as we don't, like the goalkeeping coaches, just stuff like that, they're all part of it, innit? Do you know what I mean? It's what make the club.
When did Albert the Kitman go as well? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course, bro. That's what I mean. It's just little stuff like that.
Tea ladies and that, and you know, people in the canteens, it all adds to that.
We definitely know, it's all familiar.
Massive change, wasn't it?
But that's what I mean. And do you think that's again moving?
Realistically, what we're all saying, we should have expected a little bit of a lull. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I think we did expect a little bit of a lull, but I don't think we expected as a dramatic lull that it was. Do you know what I mean?
Going off your point, what you're saying there as well. Like I said, I wasn't overly disappointed when they announced David Moyes, but then it took time to really realise how bad it was going. Like I was reading articles in the paper, like he was getting like Rio Ferdinand in training and saying, "Oh, be more like Phil Jagielka." Do you know what I mean? For someone of Rio Ferdinand's, you know, stature and you know who he is, that's hard to take in it. I know you should respect your manager and you know not answer back and be on board with what they're trying to say, but like, come on, to try and like compare him to players from a past club and a lower caliber player as that, you know, it's.
He definitely caused his own problems, Moyes, a lot, I think, the way he come in and I just don't think it needs to be done the way, and I don't think Man United kind of expect him to be. I think they thought he was going to come in and kind of keep things similar to how they were.
Well, you would have thought he would have.
And that's what I thought. I thought when I seen Moyes, that's what I thought was going to happen. Like if you'd have seen Pep, you would just think, okay, or Mourinho, or whatever it is, them kind of managers, you know, they're coming in with their whatever they want to do, their philosophy. They've proven
they're winners, they've done.
You know the one thing, or like when he did come, I thought personally he would have had us like solid enough defensively that we wouldn't have slipped out the top four. I did think that. I thought, well, we ain't going to drop out the top four. I did think that. But the one thing that worried me straight away is a couple of mates I got from Liverpool, Everton fans. They were like, do you know what? I'm glad he's going. It's time. And I was thinking, Everton fans are glad he's going.
Yeah.
What should we be expecting? Should we be happy that he's coming to Man United? They was happy to see the back of him because they just wanted to change and they didn't like a lot of things that he'd done. Do you know what I mean? And it was like that was the one thing that was stuck in my mind. But I still thought now, like
you want to believe it, don't you? You want to back it, don't you, as well? I mean, and obviously, it kind of got proven the season after that with Martinez, or was it that season? Everton actually finished. Did they finish above us that season? I'm not mistaken. Or anyway, the style of play they were playing when Martinez come in, he seemed to manage to do better with the players than Moyes had. And even that was like another indicator to us, like, fuck.
We definitely got.
At the same time, you can see certain reasons why they picked Moyes. Do you get me? Like,
yeah, definitely.
With Everton on a budget and like.
Well, I thought it might
the players he brought through.
There was more stability.
And if it would have worked, he would have been in it for the long haul. It would have been another.
That's what they were looking for. Stability.
When realistically, that don't happen in football no more, do it? Do you know what I mean? Like Fergie's reign, Wenger's reign, is that ever going to happen again? No.
I thought he was handpicked by Fergie. Like Fergie sort of seen something in it. It's rare Alex Ferguson gets something wrong, you know, with choices.
But at the same time, in that as well, saying all that, put that aside, do you think, as much as we're saying we want him to be there for a long term, they didn't really give him the time? I'm not saying get Moyes out at the time, but I'm just saying it's a question. He only had 7 months there as well, do you know what I mean? So it wasn't like the club, they quickly decided that we wasn't going to be this club no more. That's when the shit started there. We're going to sack him after 7 months, albeit it was bad. They made, do you know what I mean? They've kind of made their bed then, like this is how it's going to be, because they didn't give him no backing whatsoever. Even in the, like you said, the transfer market, like the Mata buying was odd. It seemed Mata was more of like a thing to please the fans rather than a player Moyes really wanted. Do you know what I mean?
It was a desperate buy.
Desperate
It was
buy,
a January signing.
Yeah, January signing.
It was the middle of the season. Don't think he was getting game time at Chelsea.
No, he was on the bench at Chelsea.
At the time, it must have. I think I can't remember how I felt, but it probably was a no-brainer, really. Do you know what I mean? Matter how well he was playing for Chelsea and how poor we were. I think we.
Yeah, we was all excited to get him, I think, but when you look back at it, was it really... It just doesn't seem like his direction, like any direction behind the signings, like even with the Fellaini thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, there haven't been since Fergie's gone, there been no direction, do you know what I mean? But I think at the time we had to sign Mata, do you know what I mean? Same as just going off the Moyes thing, as when Alexis Sanchez was available last year, I think we had to sign. So any club would have wanted him on his previous, do you know what I mean? Like, if he was available, the things he'd done before, I'm not saying we needed him, because I don't think we did, it's pushed, like, it's meant less game time for Martial, Rashford, but we can't keep hanging on to. We've got to produce our own players, like regardless of how long it's going to take them because we're falling behind. You know what I mean? Sanchez come available. I think we have to get him last year. Same as when Mata came available.
Yeah.
We have to get him at the time. I thought.
And another thing with Moyes, I think, do you think, like, as much as maybe it was like Woodward's fault of certain stuff like that, but do you think players were looking at it like for example, so I don't want to drop names, but I was cutting some of the Welsh players' head at the Vale the other day, and Bale was in the room, and he was talking about when Moyes rung him to go to United just before he went Real Madrid. Yeah, honestly. And he's just like, yeah. Everyone started laughing to start the fucking conversation off as soon as he said it. So I was just like, yeah. And then he was like, yeah. I was just like, yeah, no, mate, I'm going to Madrid. And do you know what I'm saying? And it just broke my, like, it just, even then it still was kind of, yeah, it was Moyes, but it was still Man United. You would still like to think we had the pull.
Yeah.
But even he knew as a player, like, nah, like, I don't give a shit who's manager. I'm not going there. Do you know what I mean? And I was laughing along, but really I was just like, wow. Summed it up. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then I think we've moved on then. If we move on to Van Gaal then, we just become, after that, it was like we just thought, let's just throw money at everything, like big signings, big wages. It just seemed, do you know what I mean? I got quite excited. I got more excited for Van Gaal on past like what he'd achieved. So he had achieved more than what certain philosophies. So on like how he was in the World Cup. I remember him doing kind of mad shit like taking off the goalkeepers and putting a new goalkeeper into penalties. And I was thinking, man, this guy got what it takes. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even Ferdinand was saying it, like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, this guy looks like. Was Ferdinand still there, or he went?
He went that.
But again, before he came in, a couple of the players left from United, didn't they? A couple of the Evras and Vidic, you know, some of the better players really. And then he come in. And what do we think Van Gaal done as well when he come in?
Do you know what? He had his moments where it was funny. Do you know what I mean? He had like, remember his press conferences when he's Louis Van Gaal, he come in and got fourth, didn't he? After we slipped out. It seemed like
even after the
the minimum achievement really. Like,
no, I think the first season gave us a lot of optimism. I don't know about you, but for me, because like you said, as much as we wanted more, he come in, bro. We seemed to like some of them games, like the Liverpool game, bro, when we just dominated them, bro. It was and the Man City game as well. We went to that game.
He won some of the big games, didn't he?
And in fashion as well, bro. The way he done it as well, bro. Like controlled the games. And I thought, okay, now when they made out like you felt like this is the time and they were going to start buying these players.
We'd be on the way back up.
And then it was like he'd made signings and we kind of wanted to back like your Schweinsteiger, but it wasn't. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, do you know
Memphis.
I think some of his signings, when Di Maria come up, the form he was in under Real Madrid, we thought, wow, okay, we got Di Maria, this should work. So I can't blame the club for him not going.
No, not Di Maria, because I just think he didn't have the heart for it. I don't think in the Premier League to a certain degree.
In the final, but I think.
It just seemed to be after his house got robbed with Di Maria, didn't he? He just went. He didn't want to be in Manchester. He didn't want to play. He didn't look the ass, to be honest with you. So I don't think that was either the managerial fault or the club fault.
You know the Falcao loan move?
Yeah, that was it.
Up until his injury, he was the best number 9 on the planet. You know what I mean? We didn't really know what we signed because he had the injury and how he'd be coming back. But when we signed him, I was like. Quietly, like if he comes back the same striker, we got another Van Nistelrooy. Do you know what I mean? But flipping, that didn't work. Nothing's worked, did it? Do you know what I mean? Di Maria didn't work because of his fault, but Falcao didn't work because he just wasn't the same player. Who else came in at the time?
Schneiderlin as well.
Schneiderlin the second season.
Schweinsteiger.
Blind he brought in the first season too.
Schweinsteiger should have never happened though.
Second season.
Schweinsteiger should have never happened.
I mean, Herrera and Shaw got brought in his first season, didn't he? But he seemed they were kind of on the books for if Moyes was going to stay anyway, wasn't he? Even he said it himself, didn't he? He said they were already scouting him, and I'll give him the green light to buy him because I like him, kind of thing. But yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Even with the signings, I got excited. Like Di Maria and Falcao were looking at it for us, for Man United fans, and the money we were spending. I remember thinking, fuck. And I remember the game, bro. It was the Leicester game, bro. I don't know whether we'll all can remember it, bro. And I remember sitting down on a Sunday watching my cup of tea, and like. Was it the Falcao crossed the ball, Van Persie scored the header, Di Maria was chipping keepers, and I remember thinking, we're back. Like, I remember just thinking, whoa, this is it. And then look what happened in that game, bro. Do you know what I mean? That was first half, bro. We lost 5-3, bro. Do you know what I mean? And then it was just like, and then it seemed to fucking go a bit tits up then from then, even though we managed to get into the top 4, like you said, but I don't know, it just...
Well, the truth it was, in the end, the Van Gaal ring...
Again, you could even say, well, Van Gaal, the club never gave him enough time, really, but it's hard, isn't it, when fucking...
But do you think Mourinho coming available affected the Van Gaal decision as well? Because it seemed like they were set on Mourinho straight away then.
Would you agree that it moved on a stage?
it moved on. It like we had Moyes, it went really down. Then it got up a little bit with Van Gaal. It went in that direction. You know, it wasn't all over better, but
Yeah, it was a
moved
slight
on
step
stage,
up, wasn't
yeah.
it? It was
Well, when you finish in 7th, there's only one place as
Yeah,
United you
really,
can go.
yeah.
And you got, I think, Man City getting Pep was more the thing. Rather than Mourinho being available, it was Man City getting Pep. United thought, you know, actually, we need to make a move now. And Mourinho was the only coach out there.
Serial
And
winner.
that was a. I think it was more Man City making their movement for Pep than us seeing Mourinho as available.
And do you know the
I
time
think they
when,
would have stuck with him if Pep didn't go to Man City. I reckon we would have stuck with Van Gaal.
and when Mourinho came in at that time, you could kind of suffer the defensive football for trophies, couldn't you? But like
For me,
In
I'd
the
take,
short
yeah,
term,
for me,
I
I'd take
mean-
a Premier League over playing nice football all day.
Yeah.
If I can get results every week, I don't care how we
How
play,
we
as
play,
long as we
yeah.
get results.
But
Because
then
even
that,
to
that
the
would,
end-
that, how long would that last though? Then, do you know what I mean?
For me,
But then you can look to move on,
results
can't
over
you?
anything.
Yeah.
Do you know
Results
what?
over.
I want to look forward to watching my team play.
No, 100%. But I find it's more exciting, even if the results are like I remember towards the end of Fergie, some of the games and some of the way we done things wasn't pretty, bro. Do you know what I mean? I remember going to games and we were getting 2 penalties, which in fairness, I don't know whether they were penalties, bro. Do you know what I mean?
But
And
then
against
it
Stokes
wasn't
at
week in,
home.
week out.
No, I know it wasn't week in, week out, but
And even with Fergie, come the big games, you're looking forward to those big games.
definitely go for
I'm not looking forward to the big games under Mourinho.
Well, that was the thing when he said about Pep coming from Man City, and then was it the club thinking, oh, well, he's the only one who can keep up with him? I was just thinking, like, I used to watch quite a bit of La Liga, do you know what I mean? And Mourinho's gone to Real Madrid from Inter. Obviously, what he done with Inter was amazing, do you know what I mean? But more the Champions League achievement was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah,
and I was like, back to the wall stuff.
yeah,
Where that bus that he so much likes to park, it was acceptable because they weren't expected to do anything, do you know what I mean? So when they've gone on and won, do you know what I mean? They've knocked Barcelona on, they've won. He seems like that guy, do you know what I mean? We've gone to Real Madrid, he's got everything a manager can ask for in front of him to play positive, good football and to pick up trophies, and no matter what anyone says, he's still in all the big games against Barca, against Atletico, shut up shop and won as ugly as he could win. Do you know what I mean? And he won one league title in 3 years, which
And
seems
created
bad against.
havoc on the sidelines.
Yeah,
and off the pitch.
that's my point. He's got to nick points off the other big boys by doing whatever foolishness he got to do on the sideline, playing the most negative football you're ever going to see, and then winning all the other games. You know what I mean? So
I think that's what
you can
changed
swallow
with
it, can't
United.
you?
It was
If-
like,
if-
yeah.
but
In the bigger games, like, it's like, if in the big games, I wouldn't, if it's getting results, and you play like that, I'm not so bothered. But it was like in the little games as well, really. If you win them little games and you win like in a nice fashion, like now, kind of, if we get like, if you're going on now how we're playing, yeah, they've upped the kind of ante. So if we can, not saying it's going to happen, but if we can do them little teams how in a fashion, and play better football in the big games, then when it comes to it, you don't mind getting the result. You know what I mean? It's like it seemed like it was just like. The games you want to win, you want to watch it with your kids and want to be excited, it's boring. Then the big games, you can't get excited for that because it's boring.
And that's the thing is, there's more big games in the Premier League now than there
What
was
it
10
was,
years ago.
yeah.
There was only ever us and maybe one real contender for most of Fergie's reign. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whether it went from Arsenal to Chelsea to Man City or whatever, there might be someone else who's just nipping at it. But now you've got the whole top 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Who's all capable of beating each other. Do you know what I mean? So you've got 5 or 6 teams playing them twice. You've got 10 or 12 games where you're just expecting dull, negative
play.
football.
You look at them 5 or 6 teams, and who's got the worst style of play?
Easy. It's a no-brainer, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Going on to Mourinho then, when they announced Mourinho as manager, what was your feelings?
Anyone, whether it was a Man United fan or a Liverpool fan, will 100% say they can remember me saying like, I'm not. Can you remember that?
Yeah, I can remember.
I was like,
you wasn't excited from the get go. This guy.
I could swallow it because I was thinking, you know what? He's got to bring trophies, but I'm thinking it's gonna be negative in the big games at a minimum, and he's gonna cause. He hasn't caused that much murder. Like as far as press conferences and stuff until very recently. Do you know what I mean? On the sidelines, I think he had one ban and straight away after I think, did he kick the bottle or
Yeah,
something?
but it was all
he had
stupid stuff anyway.
Yeah,
what he got banned for.
you know what? Refs and the media, fucking,
Yeah,
they
they
blow
are.
things up.
Because I remember them times, he got banned twice to be fair, and it was both for kicking bottle, or one was for kicking a bottle, and one was like cursing the fourth official as he was walking away. And these times you had Pep
Other
running
managers would get away
up
with
to
Klopp
get,
the next
and Klopp the next week. Do you know what I mean? And it was like nothing got happened to them. So
And did nothing, yeah.
For me, the main thing was, right, when he was coming in, I was thinking, okay, you can swallow if you win the trophies, but he's going to come with like the drama and the circus. He's going to come with negative football. We'd already lost so much of what we've all grown up knowing Man United a certain way, when really it was Fergie's way, rather than the club. And then so when we've lost everything to do with Fergie, and then Mourinho just seems to be the opposite. I'm thinking, well, he don't do this, he don't do that, he don't. Can anyone really name a player where he's moulded this young players, he really brought them through, and they've gone on to have an amazing, like, I'm just thinking, I know it's all
no, I get it. I get what you're saying.
Picture and a dream while you're playing, but we've been used to it. Do you know what I mean?
But again, from in defence to him now, like when you bring in Mourinho, you got to know what you're getting. So like talking from a club point of view now, direction of where the club want to go.
But I'm just saying that's what I want.
Yeah, of course, as fans, we understand it. But like if you're going to bring in Mourinho, like and is again like we got to look from both sides. Like you're saying, like Mourinho have come into a Man United team, which is like let's be fair, which has fallen off quite bad. He's had like say 3 different managers within say. 3 seasons, 4 seasons. So you've got all different directions of players as well as football they all want to play.
100%.
So we've had to come and deal with that as well, and obviously been told you've got to keep the youth aspect, or not necessarily youth players, but players from the youth academy. And like you say, in the league have got, with the emergence of Liverpool, like, let's be fair, as much as you don't want to say it, they're definitely up, like they're coming up. They're on an upwards, you know what I mean? And Man City, the way they're going on with the spending, just everything about Man City, bro. They're just operating like a...
This is the thing, the planning behind Man City, for their owners, everything was put into place, and they're in Pep's here for years. And then they got...
They knew, I think it was already said, bro, that he was coming in. Do you know what I mean?
He's been clueless at the top level. Do you know
Exactly.
what I mean? So it's no wonder everything's nuts on the pitch.
Back to what you said, at the time then, I was like, when Pep's going to City, I was like, get Mourinho in. We got to compete for trophies or win a few trophies.
That's why I was happy.
But do you think that the job was too much of as what he'd done before? It was like, did we think so high of ourselves? Because what we've done in past years, like realistically, look at the team he took over. Like, for one set, like, do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mourinho.
It wasn't a great team, though, do you know what I mean? And how many of them would be his players? And that's what I mean about direction. Like Man City, Pep's come in, and a lot of his players, albeit he've excelled them, are players from previous managers. Do you know what I mean? He have improved them without his style of play, but a lot of his players were like De Bruyne was already there, Otamendi, company. I think his job was slightly easier from the start.
He had an easier job
to take over. But you got to say, Van Gaal got sacked because he finished 5th. He won an FA Cup, you know what I mean? Yeah. Mourinho's first season coming in, and the Europa League and the League Cup papered over massive cracks. We finished 6th under him, which was lower than Van Gaal finished. The style of play, like you said, and we all said, we kind of half swallowed because we picked up 2 trophies, but none of them are trophies that at the start of the season we would have said, yeah, we'd been happy with it. We got to, like, you know, we got to be honest, it's either League or Champions League or both, if that's...
I think Mourinho had a harder job to do now than if he would have took over from Fergie. I do.
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well.
I don't know, because I think, I don't know.
Fergie won the league.
Yeah, because Van Gaal steadied it a little bit. We all just said that.
No, but when you look at it, like as far as he had a Vidic, he had a Ferdinand, he had a lot of experience there that we'd prefer to have had in his team than what, like walking into Smalling, Jones, Blind, Rojo. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? The defence. How many of our defenders can we call defenders?
Yeah, but let's not forget that first season he come in then, like Van Gaal finished 5th FA Cup. Yeah. He come in and he said in the press he had 4 targets and we got all 4. Who was there in his first season? Was it Mkhitaryan? Bailly, yeah. Who else? I remember your mate Pog, yeah. And who was the 4th?
And Zlatan won it as well.
Zlatan come in. He said he had 4 targets. He had them all. So you're expecting a big step forward, and in the league it was a step back. But we won the League Cup and the Europa League. Do you know what I mean? And then the following season, we finished 4th and trophyless. So I haven't seen an improvement. And he can moan about signings this season, but the 2 previous seasons, he's come out and said he was happy with the signings that we got. And we more take away Perisic.
Yeah.
For the first 2 seasons, he had everyone he wanted.
Yeah.
And have we really seen a step forward? Or are we still kind of just floating around? We're treading water.
I think he's had to deal with 2 managers' messes, and he's cleaning up 2 different managers.
Well, it's 3, man, because we still got Fergie players there, so
Yeah,
there's players there that shouldn't be there.
Yeah,
I don't think it was a.
Not that they were bad for Fergie, but his players
much.
left. Like Smalling and Jones, bro. I don't see what we're waiting for with them guys, bro.
Fergie.
Do you know what I mean? I don't know what.
There's too many.
But that was up to him to clean up from the start, as far as I'm
We can't
concerned.
sell them.
100%, but that's what I mean. It's even our selling.
No
Go,
one's
go,
interested.
if we leave Mourinho alone for a minute and go on to like how we're being run as like from like Ed Woodward's point of view, selling players even. We can't even get money for players who are worth good money. Like even you look Damian in this window, he'll go next year for pennies now. Blinn should have been sold last year.
It's
Do you
not
know what I mean?
about the money though. It's not about getting 15 million.
No, I know, but I'm just saying
What
for
it
selling
is,
and buying, we
Damian-
seem to be like.
Damian's on 100 and something a week. So why is he going to leave to go to Juventus? And I know they might win stuff, but he's going to be on a bench there anyway. They're only going to get 70 grand. Go look at David Blind. We got 15 million for him. He had to take a half pay cut to go back to Ajax. We sign these players and then we're giving them crazy money, so they're just sitting comfortable.
And that's
They
the
don't
thing,
need
a
to
player's
leave.
just coming to us now. It seems just for the big payout. Do you know what I mean? Because it just seems like looking on that, it just seems like we've got to blag them in with the money, bro. Do you know what I mean? And then what can you expect when players are coming to you for that? Do you know what I mean? Like I know Berbatov did an interview the other day when Man City wanted to buy him at the last minute before he went us, and he told his agent, "No, fuck that, I want to go Man United." That as much as like he wasn't that, he'll never go down in history as one of our like. You still got to rate that kind of mentality, bro. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
You have got to respect that mentality, and you can say, oh well, they might have offered him more money at the time, but at that time, we were
Of
still
course,
Man United
of course, we
and
were still Man
Fergie.
United.
If it was now, what would he do? And would he go Pep or would he go Mourinho? Truthfully.
Oh no, he would go there. No, but he may come to us, but for different reasons. Money, like, do you know what that's the point I'm trying to make. No one's coming to us
See
now
if you're a player now,
on the whole,
and you're
like, I
offered
want to
the
go
same
and play for
money,
Man United. Do you know what I mean?
Where are you going to go?
What, to Man United?
Man City or Man United? If you're offered the same money and you're a player.
It's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. Let's be fair. Unless you're like a man, you know, unless you really believe in yourself and you think you can improve them, you're not gonna really. You're gonna want to go and play for Pep. Let's be honest. Do you know what I mean? The football's better. They're doing things. Let's be fair. Do you know what I mean?
And so I would say it's more what manager, not what club you're going to play for, what manager you're going to play for in a
If that's the way
in
it's
that
going,
scenario.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's either managers or money right about now, innit? Rather than clubs.
Same conditions, same contractors. You know.
I think the pull of Man United now is no longer there. Yeah, it's no longer there.
You know, there's loads of
Wanting to
factors.
play for Man United is not a massive thing.
I don't know about that, but I would say it's not a massive.
It's not a.
No,
It's not what it used to be. I get what you're saying, but it's like it's a factor of things as well. Like you're saying, the manager. It's not just like the club has lost this thing, is it? It's like you're gonna look at it and think, you know, is it how's it? What direction they're going in? Do you know what I mean? They don't seem to like. No, would you sign? Does Mourinho look like he's gonna stay? Do they know whether he's gonna stay or not? It's like it doesn't look like a safe
That's the other thing.
bet, does it?
The first you said about what's going on upstairs. Well, for a start, giving him the contract in January and then not backing him in the
It's
in
weird,
the summer.
bro.
Nothing makes sense. Do you know what I mean? You give him a new contract in January.
And
I don't think they had to at the time.
No.
Really.
Because
they
he
got
had a year
nervous,
left
they got
anyway.
nervous, 'cause I'm sure
Yeah, there was
The PSG talk and stuff like that.
PSG
PSG
talk,
talk.
and I'm sure Things signed his contract as well then. No, not Pep. Pochettino. He signed a longer contract with Tottenham then. So I think we were like, okay, there's not much out there, so we may as well keep what we've got.
But they still had another year with him, bro.
You've got to back him. And it's being shown now that the centre backs, come on, Phil Jones and Chris Smalling, they're not getting into any top 14. Let's be honest.
No.
I know we signed Barry and Lindelof, but bloody Pep signed. Who did he sign? Laporta, Stones, Walker. He signed like so many. Yeah.
Three fullbacks.
And you all got look. On defenders.
But like,
Being back,
they have been backed, innit? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it seems odd, even when you look back to last year for like with the Lukaku and Morata signing. That was the weirdest thing for me because we were all on Morata. Morata, he dyed his hair red. He dyed his hair red, ready to come Man United, bro. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if everyone can remember that. And it was like they wanted 65 or something like that, or 70, and we only wanted to offer 65. And then in the end, we dropped that, bid 75 for Lukaku. So it was like, who did we really want?
And that was
Because the money clearly was an object because we paid more for
altogether.
Nah, I don't know,
because
bro.
the Lukaku deal was agreed.
No, I'm not sold on that, mate. I'm not sold on the double thing. I just see it as.
There's no way they would have went with two.
But then even then, that doesn't make sense. So who did we really? Did we want? As much as I'm happy we got Lukaku over Morata, yeah, because clearly how we've worked out at both clubs for him, it still doesn't add up to me, bro. If you're bitching over 5 million or whatever it was, because it was only like 5 million. Say it was 10 million. We offered that in access to for Lukaku.
Yeah.
And apparently Lukaku's like 90 million with add-ons. So I don't get
Yeah,
the whole strategy. And even with Perisic, bro, it wasn't even in the 5s or 10s of millions. It was like 4 million we didn't want to buy him for. And you look at him in the World Cup and what a player he was.
Oh, he's a player.
Do you know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to overly go on the Mourinho and like, oh, if he would have got it. But I'm just saying, no matter whatever manager we got coming in, like, it's not as if we're giving them budgets like Emery's been done. We still spend the money, but it's like on maybe players that certain manager don't want. Just give the manager the players. And I feel like when it comes to sacking them, then you can say, listen, like if Pep suddenly went, you know, or Klopp this season, for example, say they finish 4th or outside the top 4, don't win nothing. Liverpool can turn around and be like, listen, you were brought in to do less than what we've given you, to be fair. It didn't work and we still backed you. We spent an X amount of money and it's still not working. And then you can confidently say, we've given you more than what we promised.
What's weird is that they've backed him until this summer, after they give him the new contract.
Yeah, and then it's like they've stuttered.
I mean, that's what's a little bit weird. For
Like, I just feel they should have been more. They either, for me, it should have been backed or sacked. Like, literally, I'm not trying to fucking like, make puns,
but so they give him a new contract and then don't back him.
Is even worse. We're in like limbo now.
Who would you bring in then?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, if they're not going to back him, like be like Chelsea and be clinical. Like, if it's not working out. They're ruthless. But what are we doing? Are we ruthless? Are we backing managers? I don't know. It's like we're not doing anything.
You know what? Up until the summer, even into the start of the season, I was one of the ones saying I don't know who, but I'd be happy for Mourinho to go. I mean, I know. So
that's the problem. We don't know who.
Yeah, exactly.
We need a plan in place.
No, but
Man City, by the time we pick another manager, and then we're in limbo for another 2 years, Man City are gone.
Yeah,
so
100%. Yeah,
if we're sacking Mourinho, we gotta have someone in place.
Yeah.
We gotta have the signings ready.
Well, look,
we're too far
solid
behind already.
With deals with losses, replaces them, and they've still kept him at the very top. Allegri, but it's just would he leave Juve and come to United now? So I mean, Allegri's a massive name, but then it's the will he won't he come? So I think Mourinho, I think we probably got to stick with him till his contract's done. And then it's who can we get? Do you know what I mean? Personally, the way he is with like bringing players in and the rest of it, I bring in Pochettino.
Yeah.
Anyone who talks about, well, he hasn't won anything, I don't buy that. Other top European clubs, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, they'll bring in managers on what they've achieved at another club with style of play, how their team gets playing. Dortmund done it with Klopp. Do you know what I mean? He's gone to Dortmund. He has won things. People can see he loses finals. He won stuff with Dortmund. He's gone to Liverpool. They're blatantly on an upward curve. Identify someone who brings a style of play, develops players, and can be trusted with flipping money to spend. I don't think and Pochettino's all of that. Do you know what I mean? Just because he hasn't won something with
We haven't had that much money.
But that's the thing, is having again, is we need to have a direction of football.
That's what I mean.
Like Bayern Munich have, Barcelona. Like, look at it. Let's be fair. As much as it hurts me to say, Man City as well. Like Pellegrini. Let's be fair. Like he've come in and won the league straight away with Man City and spent half the money that Pep did at the time. Do you know what I mean? Albeit it wasn't exciting, but he still won the league. And I feel if Pep left this season, but while we're still building and scrapping around trying to get managers and players, they'll get another manager. He might not win the first season. And regardless, he might be a manager. None of us are really on our radars. But I bet you any money you'll win the league within the next couple of years because of the way they got a direction of football. And then in that way, when you bring the manager in, you'll look at the players and you won't want to tweak too much. You just want to add. Like that's what Chelsea seem to do. They always get a similar kind of manager with a similar kind of play.
Here's something for you then. So say we get rid of Mourinho at the end of the season and Poch comes in. What's he doing with this squad?
But some of the young players we've got.
But what's he doing with the squad? There's players there that.
Well, I think he make changes where they need to be changed centre backs, which you can say, oh well, Mourinho wanted to do that. Okay. But I think he'd bring on some of the younger players who've basically stalled. Do you know what I mean? Martial, Rashford, Luke Shaw. Some of the ones like Fosu Mensah and Twanzebe, they might never be that guy, but we don't know because they're out on loan. Do you know what I mean? Would Pochettino get the best out of him? I think personally,
are they going to give him that time?
Yeah. Well,
I think
that's the thing.
I think the only reason Mourinho isn't playing Axel Twanzebe is because
he's not given the time to bring.
Because if he plays him and then we go lose 3-4 games on a bounce, he's going to get sacked anyway. So he may as well play with the big players.
The Liverpool game last year, the difference for me was McTominay playing in the centre. I thought he played outstanding in that Liverpool game.
McTominay,
Like, I'm not saying
he did have a good game.
He had a really good game.
But I don't think he's
No, but I'm not saying, but he does show signs of it, Mourinho. I don't think he's this anti-youth. You know, like he's down in the media and everyone else as this anti-youth bringing youth on and.
Look at all the other top teams. How many of them can you name that have brought through top players from their academy? Look at the top 6 now, and how many of them have come from their academy and started for the first team? Go on Man City's team.
Yeah, Man City.
No, Foden's getting a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying there's always got to be academy players, but I'm saying younger players
you
can see play a way that you want them to play, and you're going to improve them, and then you can talk about most of them. To be honest with you, I think flipping even Klopp, yeah, he spent money this season, but look at Trent.
Trent Alexander.
Yeah, you look at the other right back. Is it Robertson? The other full back, is it Robertson? All right, you're only talking 2 players who come through their academy, but then you're talking like the other players who are really young to bang in their peak years. We have brought on. Firmino's come in. No one really knew him. Was it Hoffenheim? Hoffenheim. Where he come from? He's bringing players in and it's working, and he's because he sees them playing in his team. Do you know what I mean? And I just think
even your average players that work for his
He's
system, and they'll work for him like one of your
yeah.
Hendersons, your fucking Milners.
No, but we knew, like I said, go back to the start. With Mourinho, we knew what we was getting.
Yeah.
So if you're going along that route, you either back him or sack him. Simple as that.
I'll be honest, I think Mourinho is that good, and if he salvages anything out of this season, and what he's been doing, he's just showing how truly good of a manager he
we're
is.
talking about salvaging him.
3 or 4 games in.
I get it.
What do you think about Zidane?
We're underestimating the pieces of the pie he's been left with. We're really
Come
underestimating
on, bro.
them.
We're only a couple of players off having a. We've got a good squad.
On
Yeah,
paper,
that's
the starting 11 is on paper. That starting 11 should be able to compete with any other Premier League team. Do you know what I mean? On paper, but at the moment,
You sure about that?
our starting 11 on paper. I think from the midfield up, there's not much wrong with it. Do you know what I mean?
Back.
We've got a world-class goalkeeper.
Yeah, I'll give you
that. Antonio Valencia at right back is a solid right back as far as I'm concerned.
Not in this day and age. You don't get up. You can't cross the ball.
Yeah, but I get what, in a way, what you're saying. When Poch took over, say, Tottenham, you're looking at them players now, and it's easy to say Kane's, Aldo, he've excelled them players, haven't he? Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That Tottenham team has been made under Poch team. None of them players, even Kane.
You're telling me if Pep come in, he's going to improve Smalling?
No, I don't think. Not on a Pep thing. Not on a Pep front. Pep needs his players.
Rashford, Martial will be playing under him. Lingard will be playing in. Whereas Pep, Klopp, or Pochettino, the attacking players we've got, 100%, we'd be a much more exciting team. We'd probably be a bit closer. Obviously, this is
maybe not as arguable, but like
the forward players in the midfield isn't a problem. It's the back four.
Yeah. Well, it is a problem because we get to the final third, we look clueless. We're going back
but last year, our back we didn't concede hardly any goals because we had to.
No, that's what's funny.
And in the game when we went out against Tottenham and tried to play, we got caught out because we just got exposed because our back four.
Yeah, but look, in every game, we get as far as the halfway line or the final third, we look clueless.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be like that under Pochettino.
What was weird was defence was never a problem until he said this season, man, he was centre back. We wasn't conceding goals.
Sure.
But
I think this.
But the thing what was weird as well is for me, take away his injuries until the summer or the back end of last season. Bayern never put a foot wrong. He's our best centre back in my opinion. Lindelof awful. Smalling and Jones are never going to be the guys to take us forward. Do you know what I mean? But for me, Bailly, if someone else was next to him. I don't know who, but I'm just saying, if you had someone, I personally think Valencia, Bailly, another centre back if they was brought in, and Luke Shaw's not a bad back four in front of a world class keeper, and then the midfield three in front, Matic, Pogba.
Like that's what I mean. It's definitely questions over like some of the stuff like that with Bailly. When I see him out of the team, I can't grasp why he's not in there. That's when it comes to me asking Mourinho, like, because I stick up for him and say, oh, that's a good buy by Mourinho. I'm not having Bailey's not a good buy because he's class. But then when I see him not picking him, I'm like, you're not fucking helping yourself because you're playing Lindelof and he's not. He's
picked Lindelof instead of Bailly.
He must be a serious trainer, bro, Lindelof, because he seems to fucking
it's a
like
bit
him.
weird some of the stuff he does.
It's like we were talking about last year, like you know, when we're not all like waving the flag saying McTominay should be starting, but he was in the team and he was on form. He's pulled him out and put Fellaini in for the Sevilla game. That was just weird. Do you know what I mean? Because why did he need to come in for this? Why did he need to come in for that game? like they're a big physical team who's going to be crossing the ball, or he needs to be winning aerial battles. Do you know what I mean? He does things which I'm scratching my
Sometimes
head
it
and
don't
I'm
make
thinking,
sense. Yeah, I get it.
I know you can't ever knock what he's done in the past, but some of the, I know you said they got an agenda against him, but some of the press are saying, I think since Real Madrid, it soured him and he lost his magic. I know he come back to Chelsea and he won the league again with Chelsea, and that was a good achievement, but he just does things and I just can't get my head around him. You know what I mean? I can't see where we're going under him. So I just think, see this season through with him. We've got to identify someone between now and the end of the season who is going to be that guy to take us forward. I don't think Mourinho long term is going to be that guy.
Like I said, long term, I don't see him as the thing as
yeah,
well. But
something's got to change in the summer.
if we're giving him a contract, we've got to back him. It's either one or the other.
I do like
it's
Mourinho,
frustrating.
and I want him to win. And
Yeah, well, you want him because that's where we're at as a
we all
club.
want him to win, but I think he's capable of winning. I do like him. I do like his style of play as well. Win ugly, whatever it takes.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Obviously, I'll contradict myself a little bit, right? But I've been about I don't want him there, not happy with him, blah blah blah. But you know the point what come in this season.
Yeah.
And I thought, and I'm not saying it's going to be a turning point.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but as in the first time in ages I've seen something I liked in Mourinho was after the Spurs game, his interview. Not so much when he's waving up his free and saying I've won, but when he was in the tunnel and he was getting interviewed, do you know what I mean? I thought at last, do you know what I mean? It wasn't so much he didn't seem bitter about it, but he seemed like he knew what he was talking about, and he seemed confident of what he was saying about like the way we played that day. And I know we had the fans singing his name before, but that was the first time I thought, you know what?
And he didn't really look to blame the players as well. He could have easily have sat back in that opportunity, and they even gave him the opportunity to say it because they brought up the transfer window, and he just said, "Listen, it's done." He could have easily used that and said, "Well, you know, this is why I wanted to buy centre backs because I want to play." And that's where, in defence to Mourinho, I believe he always wanted to play a bit more expansive football. Because even though the football's been bad for United, if you look back, even at Chelsea, it haven't been that defensive. I feel he plays that defensive because he doesn't trust the defenders.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just in my opinion. Anyone, you can disagree, but like, look back, even at Chelsea, the football's always been defensive, mainly in the big games. But I remember when Costa came when he first bought him that first season, he scored like in like the first 2 or 3 games. He scored like nearly 8 goals. Do you know what I mean? It's not always like boring defensive football. In the big games, it is. So I kind of do think, as much as you have made mistakes, again, we've got to try and even out a bit as well. I do think he does plan to, and he have this season, as much as it's being shit the first 2 games, it's the latter of the 2 games, we have improved massively in our way of creating chances.
I think Mourinho polarises people, and like, you know, his arrogance rubs people up the wrong way, and then that gets amplified when you lose. I like his arrogance. Don't get me wrong. If we lose, you know, he wants him to hang his head in shame and say, "Oh, sorry," and all that. I want him to be arrogant. I do like that trait.
But the thing is, something got to come with it, haven't it? Do you know what I mean? It's like even when he done that 3, all that. That's great if he goes and wins the Premier League this year. But you know, if you don't, you just look like a bitter old man. Do you know what I mean? That's how it comes across. Like, I like it, the mentality he had to say it.
At the same time, with that, when he's talking, like, he's giving that to the media. Look what I've won. Like these guys were.
Yeah, of course.
They're always
but that's what they want him to do, though, because you see them all laughing when he left as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So they get him, or they want out of him.
Have we said anything wrong, though? We are one of the biggest clubs.
No, we haven't said nothing
and
wrong.
And he is one of the best managers in the world.
After a while, it's like you're going to keep talking, or you're going to like show us that you're the greatest manager, and this is a great club. Because in a minute, walk the walk. That's what got to come with it. Do you know what I mean?
The worrying thing for me is when he said
when he's talking about respect, they should have a bit more respect for him.
100% the media. There's definitely a massive agenda against him.
My biggest achievement in football is finishing second.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit. Like,
that's kind of.
But again, I think
that's more to the board as well.
Yeah, I think he's saying that as far as what he's saying is with all what's going on with the other teams, how they're it's like a slide dig and an excuse. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's going on with the other teams now?
He's got to work with what he's had and what he's done. Finishes second, I think, is a good achievement. Great, in fact.
Okay.
Everything against
no, but the gap was too much.
It was 19.
Yeah, it wasn't a
close race. Yeah,
there was no running.
We would have probably took second.
We didn't fight him.
Not took second. No one wants to finish second. But if it was like a race, let's be fair, it wasn't.
For the last couple of weeks.
It was over by when?
And Liverpool took their eye off the ball. They were still in the Champions League. They took their eye off the ball a little bit. Do you know what I mean? You could say we done the same thing in his first season when we was going for the Europa League.
Leaders in their own backyard. Do you know what I mean? Beat the champions.
Yeah, but we can't. That's the type of attitude where like Liverpool fans used to have. No matter what happened, as long as we beat them. But realistically, you've got to look at the bigger picture.
I didn't mean it like that. As long as we go and beat them, like, you know, we got to win all our games. You know, that's what it takes to win a title. But, you know, considering how good Man City are, and, you know, the football they were playing, we went to their own backyard and beat them. There's flashes of brilliance here.
I know, but like you said, it's sustaining it, and we went and messed up
against West Brom again. It's like, that's the thing, and you've got to.
De Bruyne was on the bench for that game, and there was a few of us on the bench that game. Then they brought him off the bench, and if anything,
I think it was definitely a great game and a great thing.
Result, but don't forget as well, Ashley Young, the penalty against Aguero. When he
but even the result aside, like you said, it's like how many times have Liverpool been like terrible, but then beating the top teams and then just been happy with that. Like, do you know what I mean? And that you don't want to, you know what I mean? You don't want to become that like, oh, as long as we beat Man City, you can't just look, because that just happens. That could just be, like you said, because Man City are that team to beat. Yeah. Like we used to be, teams used to come to Old Trafford and want to play against us. Sometimes they used to win. Like, we shouldn't be like that. Like, I don't want to have that. I do not want to have that mentality, bro. I know what you're saying, but like, it's like, again, and that's in the players' minds as well. I don't think maybe Mourinho never done nothing extraordinary that game. Maybe it's just in the players. They felt fucking some. Do you know what I mean? They wearing them shirts in the tunnel. Do you know what I mean? As a man, if you ain't a man if you don't look at that and think they're mugging us off, And I think that's what happened. I don't think necessarily it was anything. Because look at Pogba, bro. That game, he done it. Again, when the lights on him and it's a big game and he got to show up, he does it. I went and watched the West Brom game after that, and he was one of the worst players on the pitch, and no excuse to it. And on that note, let's talk about Pogba, because since we got it,
there's been a few occasions where
yeah. Go on.
I think we may as well let Marvin start with Pogba, because that's
come on then, Marv. Let's just sit back, relax, while I do this.
Opinion on Pogba then, Marv.
It's gone quiet there.
I know. So much to say about him earlier on.
Let's sum it up. Then you can knock his ability. Then you can.
Go on.
So why is he not performing it? Whose fault is it that he's not performing?
I think he performed under a better manager.
So what does that say about Pogba's attitude if he can only perform under a different
Yeah,
manager?
he's come out and said his attitude's wrong.
So you think?
So
Essentially, you think the problem is Mourinho?
I don't buy that, bro. Because as a midfielder and as a centre midfielder, what he says he wants to do, Let's just look back to like your Lampards, your Gerrards, your Scholeses and Vieiras, All right, let's keep it at Gerrard. Let's keep it at Gerrard, Yeah, Keno, no, but what you will understand now when I explain it, How many different managers did Gerrard play for? And poor styles of play, shit managers, good managers, and was Gerrard still not a great player? So I'm not going for that excuse. I would like to say Scholes and that, but they played under
Play for your own personal pride.
You play for your own personal pride,
ambition,
and you will show it'll come through. And he doesn't do that.
So
he's quick to look for an excuse, I find. The manager, or I haven't got, like, what more does he need?
Or the players next to him, when Gerrard dragged the players next to him.
Come on, bro, do you know what I mean? Like, as much as you don't want to do it, because I can only use that example because, Scholes and Keanes and Vieiras played for a great team, and it didn't down. And the same match didn't decline, but Gerrard is a great example because he played for. But no, but because he loved the club and he loved.
He even had to play out on the left under Mourinho, didn't he? And he's still fucking done it. Still performed.
So on that basis, that's what I look. That's my standards. Is them, your Vidic, your Ferdinands, your Lampards, your Gerrards, your Scholeses. I think I don't want nothing less than that. I don't want to earn nothing less than that, bro. And he's on much more money. Do you know what I mean? He got
everything given to him, man.
Everything given.
He don't really show enough hunger on the pitch, does he?
He doesn't.
Like, he'll gallop forward if he can see a chance coming. But if he loses the ball, he's not asked. Aggression and effort to get back or to win the ball back.
Well, how many times have you seen
him? He did for France.
Yeah, he did for France. Yeah, exactly. But then again, because he's it's that pride, innit? The country pride is a World Cup. Like Mourinho said, it's the perfect circumstances for him, innit? Every game's a big game.
So given Kyle's pro Mourinho, and he loves Mourinho, would you agree with Matt? Mourinho's the direct cause of Pogba's?
No, he's not a direct cause.
I wouldn't think he's the direct cause. I think he could play better.
I'm not having it, bro.
Not a better manager. I think he could play better under a manager.
But I think he's part of the problem, as in.
Style of play.
I'm not even going to say style of play because I just heard what them lot was saying, but what he's done at almost every club, what no one can deny, is he don't just divide the fans, he divides the changing room sometimes. Yeah. Something's happened there. Do you know what I mean? I think personally there's a personal issue in there between them. I just think I ain't going to blame the tactics, but I'm going to say sometimes the best managers find a way of like. Whether it's a player who needs an arm around them, or whether it's a player who needs to be screamed at, or whether it's a player who needs he ain't getting the best out of some of our players. So
but too many of our players are soft.
Yeah, no, they are, but no,
but
just the Pogba thing. What did you ask me? Did you say is it
Mourinho's a direct cause of the Pogba problem?
Nah, I'm gonna say.
And it is a problem.
Nah, I'm not gonna say direct. Nah, I'm not.
Because even Fergie kind of predicted the whole thing with Pogba,
You
didn't he?
can't blame a manager for a player's attitude or effort.
Yeah,
No, I agree. I'm in favour of Mourinho. I like him. I just think it's Pogba himself. I think it's Pogba himself.
And name 5 good games he's had. Oh, no, I'll make it 3. Make it 3 good games.
What, full 90
A
minutes?
full 90 minutes, not the
It's a good
45
game,
minutes.
really.
Put it
Give
this
me
way.
45 minutes where you thought, do you know what? He's in the top 2 of top 3 midfielders in the world. No one else can do that.
No.
Swansea.
No.
You said
Go on, let him say it then. Let him say it. Let him name him.
Go on.
Europa League final,
Swansea, Europa League final. Go on.
45 minutes.
Well, we spoke about Man
45
No. Okay, so Swansea that are playing in the Championship.
Boss the
now.
game, Mav. A game. You can't say 45 minutes against Man City.
You know what
No,
game
no,
I
give him
remember
that
the
'cause he's
6th game I
struggling.
thought it was
He's
going to be?
struggling. He's
Remember
struggling
Arsenal
what?
away? Yeah,
Oh,
Arsenal. You got sent off, but that game, I'll give that. He was a boss in that
That
game.
Man City game where he had 2 goals.
But listen,
Yeah.
No, no,
Second half.
45 minutes.
to even be discussing that shows
Yeah, so
when we bought someone who was like he deserved all the praise he was getting before he come, and we had to sign him because of how he was playing. But for someone who was supposed to be that guy, and then
And
we're
you
saying
look across
let's
the road,
try and name 3 or 4. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
bad.
yeah,
That's
we
what I'm
said
saying.
it, we haven't done it.
Would you sell him? If an offer come in, would you sell him?
If what?
If an offer come in,
Not mid-season, no.
No, we're not in a
mid-season.
position. We're not in a position.
I
to
think it's
sell.
similar to Mourinho. I think the rest of the season is make or break for the two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if the summer comes, you've got 2 years
But
left. However, he performs between now and the rest of the season, and I'm a little bit like I can't see much happening because Rhoda wants him to go. He wants to go, so I can only see how he's been the last 2 years personally. If it is the same as that, he's got to go.
And he
Do you
would,
know what? Even if he wants to go, you better start performing it.
Yeah.
Because
because he's going to struggle if he keeps performing how
his
he's
price is
performing.
going to be massive.
But he's gonna, that's what I'm saying. He's
Do you
going to struggle to get someone to buy him for the money that he thinks he's worth.
Say for instance, if his performance gets worse now, think of the flack Mourinho got to deal with.
No,
Just
but
one
I
of
think
that.
I think what Mourinho have done, he's left it
Mourinho
alone.
can't take much more
No.
flack for Pogba.
For
No,
Pogba,
but
no,
what
he
I'm
can't.
trying, what I'm trying to say is right. Pogba's just won the World Cup. He's
Yeah,
got
but that's
he's got one of the price tag on Pogba, midfielder. You've got to drop him at some point if his performances get worse. Imagine when Mourinho
Yeah, but
does
in the
drop
end,
him
and I've
now.
noticed already, but the fans are starting to realise it's not Mourinho.
Yeah.
With as
No,
far as
but
the Pogba
the
thing
media-
goes,
the media
it's not
is not-
Mourinho's fault, bro. Do you know what I mean?
You know what? One thing as well, and I'm not sticking up for him, but we're all saying how good he was at Juve. We're all saying about the World
Yeah,
Cup, but look at the team he got around him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At both. At both.
Again, that's what I'm saying. That's the difference of players. A great player can do in a lesser team.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, all right. Even on a lesser team, under the managers they got, they're all singing from the same hymn sheet. They know exactly what they should be doing. But under United, half the time we don't look like we know what we.
Yeah, but
really
even
should
with
be
that,
doing.
even
Forget
himself,
the
his
quality of
personal
players.
things that he does wrong or doesn't do, I don't believe it's anything to do with the manager. There's certain players like Rashford, he haven't been a player what we thought he'd be. But do you know why? Because we don't accommodate his style of play. Martial, to a certain degree, we don't play the football that benefits their playing
You've got
style.
too many good players who ain't.
No, because we're not playing. Like, look at it
level.
like this the other day.
Sanchez,
Fellaini come on.
bro.
Exactly, Fellaini come on. When Fellaini comes on, as much as I hate it, he looks like he can cause the most problems. And I'm not saying it because Fellaini's a good player before you start. I'm saying because we accommodate Fellaini's style of play. Do you know what I mean? As soon as we bring Fellaini on, we go long ball. We have Rashford, Martial, Lingard on, and we're playing long ball and slow build-up. As soon as you start playing, like look at Rashford yesterday for England against a decent Spanish team as well. He looked a lot more. I don't know, at home.
Seems a lot more involved.
No, I know he still missed chances, but then they play the football to accommodate him. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think Jesse Lingard has been one of Mourinho's best players.
Yeah. Are we still talking about Mourinho being a problem or no? Pogba
No,
being a problem.
we're just discussing what would you do?
I think
How
Pogba
would you handle the Pogba situation now?
It goes off the rest of the season.
Well,
You've got no choice of it really. You can't go in January.
What would
Nothing
you
to bring
do?
no one to replace.
Well, first of all, I don't know. You ask him what he really wants to do. If he wants to move, and if he wants to move, then you better play your socks off and get us the best possible price we're going to get for you. Earn your move, and go. Then the club will get whatever money they're going to get for him. Like if the relationship ain't going to work between Pogba and Mourinho,
but I think
he's got to go. And if he ain't performing, it's not like who's going to be there longer, Pogba or Mourinho, because. If Mourinho leaves, do you even want Pogba there next
Exactly.
season if he's still playing
like this,
how he's playing now?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know.
I just think Pogba surely to God himself knows. You've got to have a bit of pride in himself to think, you don't have none of it. Do you know what I mean? Where's the pride, you know, regardless of the manager telling you the fans, Mourinho could easily take him in a room and go, listen, you're not pulling your weight. I'm either going to drop you or something.
I think his mind's made up, to be honest with you. The truth is, when we signed him, if it wasn't for the money involved, which sounds like a mad thing to say, Real Madrid would sign him, and he would have chose Real Madrid over United at the time, personally. I think his mind's made up. I don't think...
But you got to toe the line somewhere, like. You got to realise this is, you know...
He don't have to do anything, bro. He's earning 200 odd grand a week, basic. Do you know what I mean? He's flipping...
Having said that then, I don't want that type of player.
Exactly, but there you go, that's the answer. That's what I think everyone's in agreement.
For him,
he called it like
and
he
called it.
He's
got Raiola as a manager. We've had with him since a kid. So I think in both their heads, they know another £150 million transfer to somewhere. He's going to pocket him a mad amount of money. He's going to live in a probably unbelievable city. Maybe it's Barcelona, maybe it's somewhere else. And he's probably going to be playing in a team that is currently competing for league titles and Champions League. You know what I mean? So I just think his mind's made up. I think.
Yeah, he's the wrong kind of player for us. I think. Then.
Yeah. So I just think we probably have.
Regardless of
answered that own question.
No, because you look at how did the fallout start? Because the first season, you know, no one really asked questions about Mourinho's style of play. Do you know what I mean? At the first season, I wouldn't say, oh, Pogba. No one really blamed him. Do you know what I mean? And then it was like.
We had a chance, didn't we? Yeah. Jose's got us playing. No.
Woke up this morning.
Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? So no one really. And then it was like the second season. We started off great, and we bought Matic and Pogba. He scored a couple of goals in the start of the season, and everyone was like, no, because we bought Matic again. People making excuses up for Pogba. Now he looks great, and then I remember Mourinho made him captain in the Champions League, and then he got injured, and then he come back, and then he just looked sluggish, and then Mourinho dropped him from a game and played McTominay. So if that's because they was all happy and shining before that, and if that's why they fell out over because he dropped him, because to me, I would have dropped him the way he was playing. And if that's what he's going to bitch over, I'm telling you now, it's going to flare up with whoever the manager is going to be next. And I just know it's in Pogba's attitude, bro. Do you know what I mean? If he played under Deschamps 38 games a season, right, there would be several games where Deschamps don't get enough from him and he's going to pull him off or he's going to drop him. And then with the start then, it's easy when it's 6 games and like you're saying, do you know what I mean? It's you can't compare it really for France and for Man United. I just think like nothing really overly happened for Pogba to have this attitude. Do you get what I'm saying? There's nothing really bad of like... He wasn't that guy, that general, and he dropped him and said, like, I just don't want nothing to do with like Schweinsteiger. If he got treated like Schweinsteiger got treated, I can understand. But even my man, bruv, he come on and chipped in when we needed him, bruv, after all that. That's the kind of attitude you got to have, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think he got it.
It don't help either with him having the agent that he's got either.
No, 100%.
But Raiola's known for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's known for that.
Having said that, I'm not going to, totally sit here and blame Pogba for the whole why we're not playing well. But
No,
he is a big factor. But he needs to toe the line and just pull his weight out somehow. Or drop him and go totally in the other direction.
To give it to him, when we play our best football and he moves the ball quick, everything goes through him. Like when he gets the ball and he dillies and dallies, we play slow. But when he gets in and he moves it fast
and switching.
And then we
when he's got players
he
moving
dictates
in front of him to
and some games he's on it, and then some games you're thinking, what's he doing? Just take him off.
Yeah, he's how we are now. The state of our squad. It's a no-brainer. Like I think that probably an average Pogba is still arguably better than any other option we've got. I know you can name the other players, but at the end of the day, the one thing everyone agrees on is his talent. And you can't question his talent. You know what I mean? So you just got to find a way to make him play for the best of him.
The more you look at it, was it a transfer we needed at the time, or was it done on a marketing
midfielder? I think.
No, 100%. We needed a midfielder.
But was it done on a marketing basis?
Yeah.
No, but when we looked at midfielders out there, was he the top of the list because he's a good player, but he's also marketable, or
the way Juve had him playing, he was the next. He was supposed to be the
made sense.
midfielder.
Definitely made sense.
At Juve, he had Pirlo, Marquinhos. What's the other one he had there? Vidal. And there's another one is there, and he was like playing virtually as a forward free role, didn't have to track back on nothing.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but from what he showed, was he's going to be this guy for the next 10 years. You know what I mean? So I think
I remember Tariq saying last year, well, it's easy in the Italian league when you're running past bloody slow midfielder.
It's definitely easy to look better in Italy when you're young, fit Pogba. Like, you're going to look stronger, faster. Let's be fair. Players do go there.
But we're all talking about hindsight now. He didn't just look good.
Of course.
In Serie A, he was performing in the and he was performing in the Champions League. He was playing well. So like, I know you can say about the team he had around him, but we brought him in as far as I'm concerned because he was going to be. Whether he has or not, don't make a difference. We brought him in because that's what we were going to build our team around for the next 10 years. He was a world record signing, an unbelievable talent, and we thought he's going to move us forward, and then we build everything else around. We had to sign him. It was a no-brainer. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of players we had to sign at the time.
Do you reckon Sanchez was a no-brainer?
Look, only because he's been there, done it, won it. He's a champion, or before he's come to us, he has been. Do you know what I mean? So I think, as much as we can say, oh well, it done this to Martial or Rashford, like he was either going Man City in the summer or we got him. And that season for Arsenal, he wasn't doing that much, but we all thought it was because he didn't really want to be there. I think again, if we're going to move forward, we can't always be sentimental and think, we've got to wait for Martial and Rashford. I think we had to sign him at the time.
We need winners.
Yeah, he's a winner, and he's a world class. He's not playing like he's a world class star. Do you know what I mean? He's done in World Cups. He's won leagues, he's won cups abroad, like he's another winner with a mentality we need really to move forward.
And
really.
just that natural fight he's got in
But again, even with Sanchez, even when he plays poor, again, this is why I'm going to compare him to Pogba, I can forgive Sanchez always, and I find it like people are like, oh, you're just sticking up for him because, like, as a fan, when you're watching the game and you just like you see people running back, you want to. I know what I would be trying to do. I'm not saying I could do it, but you want to get back, win tackles. It's not naturally. It doesn't come to Pogba, bro.
It's not for lack of trying.
It's not for lack of trying. Do you know what I mean? And that's what the thing with Pogba. What I get, I do agree. Under the better, under playing better style of football, he would look better. But he could still. I think he could still be a better player on his own.
You're rubbing those.
I think he could, bro.
Three little hairs on your chinny chin chin.
I wouldn't sell him. For me, Steve.
No,
you
but
wouldn't sell who?
Pogba, you Steve.
Well, the thing is, okay, so let's just say.
I think he performs better under different.
Alright then, so let's just say another manager comes in next season.
Look, you doubt it.
No, there is a chance.
There's a chance.
There is a chance, but we got to make that decision next year because let's just say a new manager comes in. Let's just, for argument's sake, say we refuse to sell him. Let another season go by, and he hasn't done it. He got 12 months left on his contract. Then, do you know what I mean? And I just think we'd be lucky to get back. If he did have another crap season, we'd be lucky, very lucky to get back. Or what we even. I know it shouldn't necessarily be about money, but the decision's got to be next summer. What happens with Pogba? The decision got to be made next summer, whether he stays, goes, because it's just.
What do you think about the talk of Zidane being into the job?
No thanks.
I'm not going to lie, a few weeks ago I was all for it.
No
all
thanks.
for it a few weeks ago.
Well, let's just start off on like where do we see, what would we like to see in the future? Like where do we see it going rather than just saying Zidane?
Parting with a 6-year plan.
I think, you know what?
There's no better option.
Yeah, well, I don't think we give him a 6-year contract, but I'll go Poch with a 3-year contract. I'm waiting for that. But
I'm sure Newcastle
I don't think
a 5-year contract.
something will have to happen with Spurs this season to bring the league. I don't think it will. I don't think he would leave, to be honest with you. But that's if we could pick and choose. If we could pick or choose,
like
Allegri, Pochettino.
No. But Man City is more than Pep Guardiola.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's more.
Oh yeah,
They built from the bottom. If you look at their academy teams.
Just the same as Barcelona, like I was saying, the top teams in Europe, bro, they're doing it right. The whole club is structured, bro. Do you know what I mean? They even got the director of football even protects youngsters. So like if a manager comes in and he doesn't particularly like a youngster and he wants to get rid of him, they'll say like no, because they got in mind this guy's not going to be here forever. And by the time this guy makes it to the first team, the next manager might like him, and that's what we need. We need a direction.
Yeah, the club has got no direction. You look at Man City's youth team; they play exactly the same as the first team.
As much as I don't never see him making it to the first team, do you know what I mean?
Man United's under 18s. I love watching them because I wake up every Saturday morning early to watch them because they're exciting to watch. Then you watch the 23s, they go in a completely different way, and then you watch the first team and they're playing a completely different style. So we need direction from. It's not just Mourinho. There's more. There's a bigger thing. It's the club, and the club need to sort out from top to bottom.
But I think they're on about restructuring the club and getting directors.
Why is it taking so long?
No, I know it have taken too long.
That's what I'm worried about. By that time, Man City could be light years away.
Yeah, of course. But what I'm saying, regardless of. By the time we're gonna have to do it, we're gonna need to do it sooner or later.
So for you now to move forward, then come the end of the season, are you Mourinho stays regardless of what happens this season? What are you saying?
No, for me, we need to, as a club, we need a direction. So, like I said, if Mourinho is their guy and they think he can take the club forward, you need to back him and make sure it's set in stone. So don't be half and half. I'm personally, deep down, I'd have Mourinho gone. But if he's the guy we've got at the moment and he's the guy they want, they give him a new contract, then we've got to back him.
Yeah, I don't see
you can't be like Guy Neville said, you can't half build a house. You either give him, you build it fully, or you get rid of him and let someone else build it.
Whoever comes in, so whoever comes in, I'll go on that.
Yeah, so listen, even though I'm not his biggest fan, because I think he's got his flaws as well, but Poch, if he did come in, and we went his way, from top to bottom his way, then at least we got direction with us. We're half, we'll give him a new contract, but then we're half, let's not give him the players he wants. It's one or the other.
Are you expecting?
I don't think. I'll be honest. I want Mourinho to be here at the end of the season.
After this season.
After the season. I don't think Mourinho is the problem. I think it's the background. What's going on behind the scenes.
There's more to it.
There's more to it. I agree with that point where there's no direction. I think Mourinho's good enough and so seasoned manager that he could get a direction.
But do you see him, on saying that, do you see the direction of the football and the Man United's future being under Mourinho? And do you get what I'm saying? Like I'm not, like, I'll agree, like I'm not Mourinho out necessarily, but then I'm contradicting myself and saying we need that direction. So for the future, I don't see Mourinho being that guy who they're going to back, and I don't know whether he should be the guy who they should back. But
yeah, that's the problem for me, because from the day he walked in the door, I was a little like,
the thing is,
and then he should win one or two things. And at the moment, nothing he's done since he's been at the club has made me think, wow, okay, we're getting back on the path, you get me? So this is make or break season, unless between now and the end of the season he really show, and I know he's limited now with the squad because they didn't back him in the summer, which ain't his fault, but he's got to, for me, show what he can do with this group of players now.
Like to see him prove something himself, with this what he got, and
Yeah.
there's enough there. I agree, there's enough there. Regardless of the players I've gone, there's still enough there to have a good season, a really good season, and I'd like to see that. Obviously, I'm a Man United fan, so I want to see it. And I wouldn't mind him finishing, even if it's fucking third, as stupid as it sounds, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's a scrap for who finishes first, second, and third.
You hit the nail on the head earlier, where there's a stigma attached to Mourinho with this park the bus style. But you said earlier, he can play expansive football. So if it takes sitting down at the end of the season with the board, with whoever, and going like, I want to play this style, we want to do it expansively, I think he can do that. I think he can more than do that.
So, what are you saying? What's the verdicts now, just in a couple of words?
So, going forward, personally, I'd want the club to go in a certain direction. So, I'm not saying Mourinho's the direction, but I think...
Just get some direction, basically,
get some direction, get a manager that you want and you trust with a transfer budget, with the way you want the club to run, and then go that way. If it's Mourinho, then I'm going to back him. If it's not, then bring someone else in and show me.
What are you saying on it?
I'm saying it's 2018, 3 years is long enough to see what direction a manager can take the club in. So I just, without trying to sit on the fence, it all goes on between now and the end. Because at the moment, for me, it's
there's still time for him to pull it, to show us and to prove us. So let's give him. He's gonna have it anyway, innit?
Yeah, he's got to the end of the season anyway. But it all goes on what happens between now and the end. Because at the moment, I've been like, I think other managers can come in and do at least as a good a job as he's doing with this group of players. So for me, he's got to improve between now and the end of this season. The players he's already got. Do you know what I mean?
Go on, Dan.
To stay.
I think unless it's absolutely horrendous and we end up in a relegation battle or something like that, which probably won't happen, but I'm Mourinho all the way. I just think back him. I think we've underestimated the problems we've had and the mess he's had to clean up, and I think he's more than capable of playing how everyone wants to play, that expansive football. And just I'll go with I'm sticking.
What are you saying, Kurt?
Well, I was twinning on.
Just copy and paste the answer.
Same as him and same as you. for me, it hinges on what happens from now to the end of the season. He's got a lot to prove, but not just him. Some of the players we've got as well. A lot of the players that we've got. Well, and beyond the players.
But I say, unfortunately, the buck stops for the manager, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So if the player, like,
okay,
so
yeah. Well, then, yeah. I suppose come May.
But I mean, I think on that as well, like just to quickly say, I think managers can work and with players. Well, look what came out about Fergie and Rooney after the whole. Apparently, they hate each other. They never spoke. But Rooney still give his all for Man United. Do you know what I mean? And that's just without naming the name of the player who I got in mind. Do you know what I mean? It's like you still don't have to have a great relationship with the manager to go out and want to win for your teammates and win for yourself. Do you know what I mean? To have your own pride, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like I ain't hearing like Ronaldo and players going to different. He wants to win. Much as people say he's an ego, his ego's in the right place, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Because no matter what, he wants to look good for the right reasons, not just to look. He wants to win first and foremost, not just to look. Ronaldo's never happy coming off scoring a hat-trick and losing. He wants to do good and win.
Yeah, but even if there's a Pogba issue, and Pogba can't get his head right, it's the rest of the team.
Yeah, and I think it's still enough there for him to do it as well, but with or without him, how he's played for us. I don't think Pogba not playing well is a massive negative to us.
The Mourinho decision.
No,
back to last season, McTominay
it's
thing. One or two games where we had McTominay, Herrera, and Matic. We didn't seem to miss Pogba because it's not often Pogba does
something. Yeah, exactly. For us, like I'm saying. So time will tell. Hopefully, we'll come back in a few months and revisit this, and there's a bit more. Hopefully, there could be a bit more positives. Hopefully, Marvin's still got his boy at the club.
And do you know what? On that note, right,
In Pogba we trust.
a lot of this has seemed so negative, but you know what? Like, that's because we've had so much success.
Of course.
Let's be real. We've had a lot of rebuilding to do. We still finished second last year.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That's what you've got to take in.
Negative as things seem.
We still finished second, didn't it?
Amplified, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and the media. And if we keep living on our past success, that can hinder us a bit as well. It could cause us damage because at the end of the day, with managers, I mean, if we just keep saying like, I don't think Poch will come in and win us the league straight away. No, as much as I wouldn't mind having him as our manager.
I'd like to do what he said. I'd like to sit down on a Saturday or Sunday
and at least while we're building, play nice football. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I get that.
I can't. You know, we're putting games on, and it's almost a chore. Yeah. It's almost a chore now. Do you know what I mean? It's like we watch it because we're Man United fans. We want to see us play well, but we're going into the game thinking. Which Man United is going to turn up today, and how are we going to play? Even if, like, with the Liverpool fans for the last couple of years, all right, they fall short, they get a little bit excited, they think they're going to win it, but like they tune in knowing what they're going to be watching. Do you know what I mean? No, but they are on an upward curve. They still keep falling, but they're on an upward curve. They can see a direction, and they know what style of football they're going to play. They're going to tune in, and they're going to be on the edge of their seats playing good football. We're kind of like, we don't know where we're going, we don't know how we're going to play. And
that's like our team in the final third.
Yeah. But
well, it's been nice talking about it all. It hasn't been as negative an outcome as what I thought it was going to be, to be fair. I think we've, like, do you know what I mean? Touched a lot of the fucking subjects. And let's just see what happens. But hopefully it can be something positive taken out of the season. Whether it's style of play, even if we just change the style of play and we can have a bit more. Because even watching the Tottenham game, the 3-0 defeat, I was still... Bruv, that first half hour, and even when they went 2-0 down, I still watched it with a little bit, as sad as it sounds, again, because we're Man United and we want to have this ego about us, it still felt good watching it, in a way, do you know what I mean?
It was much more acceptable than the Brighton defeat.
Exactly, of course it was,
It was much more acceptable.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Like, some players, like Jacob last year, what did he say? He went, I can't remember the comment exactly now, but to put it, if we finish third last year, if we finish third this season, but we go on to play better football, everyone's on the same page.
Maybe something like what Danny said could happen. Like, you know, the back
Like
end of Mourinho could come, maybe he could be
I wouldn't be against Mourinho staying. But if we're like second, for me, you're the first loser anyway. So if we finish second, third, or fourth, don't really make a difference. You just get Champions League qualification. If we finish third, playing a lot better football and everyone's on the same page and it looks like we see a direction, and I'm happy for Mourinho to say I'm not so much anti him, but it's like
the style of play.
Going
out that front, I think it'd be closer to clicking under Mourinho than it would be getting a new manager.
It would take more time.
Well,
I get that.
there might be another
transition period.
Then there's 4 sets of
so for our benefit, it would make sense. But will it happen though? At the end of the day, if it stays a bit stale, then we're willing to stay, you know what I mean? You're willing to have a manager, wouldn't you?
3 seasons, a good innings at most.
It is to be fair.
We got
So this season, let's hopefully you can do it. Right, let's better wrap it up there, because we can go on all night about it.
Yes, I'm
Yes.
good talk.
I'm mostly guys.
Yeah, it's nice for coming through, bro.
Yeah, man.